1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm Marie.
And I'm Maddie.
And we are a mother-daughter, and we're here in our freezing cold basement.
It's so cold.
So cold. We are here recording our new podcast.
Yeah, it's about lost and murdered, missing hikers and backpackers.
Yep. So that'll be fun. If you're scared of hiking, it's about to get worse.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So this is Lost in the Woods. So let's get into it. So today we're going to Panama, a place that I never want to travel to now.
Well, we did before.
Well, yeah, no, before I wanted to go hiking, I was like, this is pretty. And now I do not.
We're not so sure anymore. Actually, I still probably want to go, but Maddie might give me a little trouble. Yeah. Just so you know, we are not from Panama, so we may struggle pronouncing a few of the words in this podcast. So feel free to correct us, or maybe not.
Be nice. It's our first episode.
Yeah, just be nice.
I'm afraid.
If you're gonna correct us, don't be a dick about it. Just be nice.
Okay, so today are two hikers that got lost in Panama. Kris Kremers, who's 21, and Lisanne Froon, who's 22. They were two young Dutch girls.
Yeah. So Kris was described as sparkling and extroverted. She was cheerful, intelligent, and outspoken, and had strawberry blonde hair.
Lisanne was described as thoughtful, intelligent, and empathetic, and she was shy. She was an introvert. And she had brown hair, and she was super tall. She was like 6 foot.
Well, guys, you gotta, for a little reference here, Madison is really short, so everybody seems tall to her.
6 foot is tall for a girl.
Okay, it is a little,
and that was like in
side.
her description. Like everything I looked at said something about Lisanne being tall. Super tall. Kris and Lisanne had traveled to Panama to volunteer as social workers. They were staying with a host family. When they arrived, the organization was not ready for them. Like, not ready for them as in they, like, arrived a week early or something?
No, I think when they got there, the organization just wasn't ready to receive them and give them things to do yet. Which both girls actually documented this in their diaries. They both kept diaries on this trip. That they were really disappointed in this. They were looking forward to getting started, and they felt like the organization was kind of rude. Yeah.
That's what everything said. But unfortunately, the girls did not bring their journals with them when they went hiking.
Right, we don't have journals for the actual hike. Yeah.
So since the organizations weren't ready for them, they decided to spend time hiking and enjoying sights.
Yep. So on April 1st, 2014, Kris and Lisanne set out to hike the Pinista Trail, or the Great Divide, and they were never seen alive again.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, they're not coming out of the woods.
So the hike was only 4.9 miles, like a round trip, and only 2,000 feet of elevation. So moderate.
Yeah, I would say that's a moderate hike. We do a lot of hiking.
For most people, I feel
right.
like.
So that would be a pretty easy day for us, but for the average hiker, that would be considered moderate, I think. Yeah.
It was also, like, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful day. It was, like, 88 degrees.
Mm-hmm. So no storms, nice warm day. So locals do suggest having a guide to hike in this area. If you go the wrong way, you're kind of in trouble. And the girls did contact a tour guide about a hike the following day. So we're not really sure why they set out on this day by themselves when they had an appointment set up the following day to actually have a guide and go hiking. Which was probably a different hike, but still we're not sure why they decided to set out on their own.
But they felt like they needed a guide for another hike.
Mm-hmm.
On the morning of their hike, the girls had brunch with two Dutch men. There's very limited information about these men, and they don't appear to ever be suspects.
Right, they don't show up in any police reports. Their names aren't really named anywhere. So we think it's innocent, or we're assuming because they weren't investigated at any point. They left for their hike around 11 a.m., and they left with their host family's dog,
whose name was Blue.
So, Blue returned later that day without the girls. Yikes.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to save your life here, guys. If the dog runs away,
Follow it.
Follow it. If the dog doesn't want to go, maybe something's wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe go with it back
to wherever it wants to go.
Yeah.
You know, if it's barking into the darkness, into a corner, a house.
Yeah.
All examples. Listen to your dog.
Yeah. Turn back. Go have a margarita. Relax. Yeah. Go to the beach. We don't know.
On the 6th of April, Kris and Lisanne's parents came to aid in the search for the girls. A 10-day search of the jungle ensued, yielding no results.
Right. So they brought, police, dogs, locals. Everybody was out there.
Looking for the girls.
Searching for the girls. And nothing came of it.
10 days went by with nothing.
10 days. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine.
Do you know all the stuff you can do in 10 days?
Well, you can get real lost in the jungle in 10 days.
Apparently.
So at this point, the search stalled until an indigenous woman found Lisanne's backpack in a rice paddy along the Calibra River. You guys, that is like 12 hours from where the girls started their hike. The backpack was dry, and the contents of the backpack were intact, indicating that the backpack was not in the river.
Yeah.
We think it was not in the river.
Well, I don't know how it could have been. Like, nothing was damaged.
Right. Well, and it had been months later, so it could have dried out. But inside the backpack, there were 2 pairs of sunglasses, $83 in cash, Lisanne's passport, 1 bottle of water, 2 bras, weird, Lisanne's camera, and both cell phones. And all 3 of those electronics were in working condition.
Which this is like, let alone I put my phone nowadays into water and it barely works. This is like 2014. Like,
right.
The phones, like,
they weren't more waterproof.
One of the girls' phones was an iPhone and the other one was a Samsung.
Right.
Like, in 2014 especially, neither of those things would have been able to go into the water and come out
and survive.
Working condition.
That's our theory. We're not really sure.
That's my theory. And I don't believe that the backpack was in the water. I don't know how it could have been.
I don't think it was either.
With all that working and intact and like Lisanne's passport, like if it went to the river,
right.
Passport's gonna get destroyed in the water.
Right, the ink's gonna run.
So you wouldn't have been able to even know if it was Lisanne's or Kris's passport, and the fact that they know it's Lisanne's.
Or from the picture, you might be able to from the picture.
Yeah, I guess if it survives the water.
Yeah. Yikes.
Okay, so according to the girls' phones, the girls started to call for help at 4:39 p.m. on April 1st.
You guys, that was the day that they went missing. And
not only that, but that wasn't too long after they left.
Right, yeah. So they dialed 122, which is the emergency number in the Netherlands, and 911, which is the emergency number in Panama, numerous times. Without service, none of these calls actually went through. One call did go through, but it only lasted for about a second and a half, and that was on April 3rd. Altogether, they made 77 attempts to call for help, which I don't know about you guys, but I get nervous if I have to call the police one time for anything. So I can't imagine what sort of situation I would have to be in.
Yeah, how much distress the girls were in.
Right.
77 times.
I mean, if I see somebody getting mugged on the side of the street, I'm like, oh, should I call 911? Is this an emergency? Like, should I call the non-emergency number?
But I'm in Seattle. Is that actually an emergency? Like, I'm not sure.
There's no way of knowing. So we're assuming by this time they're pretty distressed if they're calling 911.
And also, it's so bad that none of their calls went through. The only one lasting 1 second.
Yeah, that's very stressful. So I also imagine them like wandering around in the woods, like trying to find reception. I mean, how stressful is that? Which could have caused them to get deeper into the woods than they intended to go because they're trying to find higher ground or they're trying to find a spot where they might be able to get through. Because if you've ever been like out in the middle of the woods, if you've ever been lost, we've been lost before. If you've ever been lost, it can seem like a good idea to go one direction for whatever reason, like, oh, I think I hear water, or oh, there's a clearing over there. Maybe we can see something from there. So you can get turned around really fast and really easily.
On April 5th, Lisanne's phone battery died, and it was never used again. Kris's phone was turned back on, and someone made several attempts to enter the PIN code, but failed.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. So Lisanne's phone battery is dead,
Yeah,
right?
dead.
So her phone dies, and then someone is trying to get into Kris's phone but doesn't know the passcode. By the way, you guys, if you hike with a friend,
tell them your passcode.
Yeah, what? I don't know your passcode. If we got lost in the woods and you died first, like I wouldn't be able to get into your phone.
I guess so. I guess that sucks. You'll just use my face ID. You'll just put it in my dead face and swipe up. You'll be fine.
Great.
You'll get in.
Great. So somebody's trying to get into the phone. I'm assuming at this point that it's Lisanne, because if Kris is trying to get into her phone, she's going to know.
Why doesn't she know the passcode?
Yeah, she's going to know her passcode.
I'm assuming that at this point, by April 5th, Kris is dead.
Or severely injured, or the girls have been separated somehow.
Something.
Which we're not sure which one it is. And maybe Kris is still alive, but she doesn't remember her passcode?
Refuses to tell Kris her password? Or Lisanne?
Sorry, Lisanne, I'm not giving you my password. We're gonna just be lost out here. So that's very suspicious. Well, and also, why are their phone batteries still alive?
I don't...
Like, in 2014, you guys, were phone batteries so much better than today? Because my phone ain't gonna make it that long.
No.
Like, my phone can barely make it through one day.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, I guess there's less
Maybe
apps.
They weren't using their phones? Like, they had an iPhone and a Samsung, so these aren't, like, flip phones. Like, these are, like, touchscreen.
They're smartphones. Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like my phone batteries always just died within a day.
Half a day. I think half a day.
My phone.
Maybe you're on your phone too much.
I don't know. Hey. Kris's phone was turned off for the last time on April 11th at 11:56 p.m. And that's 10 days after they went missing.
Yep. So by April 11th, the phone is turned off. The battery's not dead, but the phone is turned off and never
turned back on.
Never turned back on again. So that's after 10 days in the woods, which, by the way, is a really long time.
Really long time to not have food or adequate water to drink.
Yeah, that's a long time, you guys.
Okay, so the camera found in Lisanne's backpack is more concerning than the phones.
It's very strange. It kind of adds to the mystery of this whole thing.
It really does. The pictures start with their hike. They're happy. It's like it's sunny. And then it shows that they summit around 1 p.m.
Now remember, their first call for help was at 4:39.
Yeah, so that's 3.5 hours in.
Yeah, so basically 3.5 hours after they get to the top of the Continental Divide. They're up there, they're smiling, they're taking pictures. Within 3.5 hours, shit went bad. They are distressed, they are calling for help. That's pretty fast. Like, I wonder if one of them maybe got injured by that point, or if they're already lost at that point. I mean, I really don't know.
No idea.
Yeah. So coming down is usually faster. At least it is for Madison and I. If they left at 11, they're summiting by 1. By the time they call for help, they potentially could have been back down if they had gone
the correct
direction. I mean, me and Madison, we're like double timing down. We want to get to the car. We want to get our gas station treat.
Going down sucks too.
Yeah.
It hurts my knees.
It does. It hurts my knees too.
Every step, sometimes I'm like, God damn, going down the mountain. So like, I'm going to go as fast as I can.
That's why I have to bribe her with a gas station treat. So she'll keep going.
I'm 18, but yes, I still take bribes.
She still takes bribes. So one thing that's kind of strange is when we look at the camera, it has not been used since that first day until April 8th. So on April 8th, the camera takes a picture again for the first time since day 1. So they've just been lugging this camera around, not actually taking pictures. Which
also kind of adds to the mystery. I mean, maybe they were so distressed that they didn't.
Right, and they didn't take video with their phones, maybe to preserve their batteries.
Yeah, which in many cases when you see other missing hikers or missing backpackers and terribly sad stories of them taking videos,
they document it, yeah. And they have a battery in their camera that's going to last for a long time.
Yeah.
That battery is full. It's not dying
going to die anytime soon.
And their camera did have the ability to take video.
So that's why...
But they might not have thought of it.
They might not have thought of it, but most people who are missing do. Most times there's
Something, yeah.
Something.
So on April 8th, between 1 and 4 a.m., 90 pictures were taken in the dark, you guys. I don't know if you're up between 1 and 4 a.m., but it's dark.
Especially in the middle of the jungle.
Oh, yeah. There's no light anywhere. So there are some theories as to why they were taking these pictures in the dark.
Yeah, like, were they trying to signal someone? Because there were search groups out there when
That day.
So
looking for them. Did they hear a plane and they're like
trying to signal for it?
Right. I mean, who knows?
Maybe they're just scared of the dark.
Yeah, some people are scared of the dark. And honestly, if I'm in the middle of the woods,
Something.
I might be scared too, especially if I'm on my own by this point, right? Like, we don't know they're both there.
This is on the 8th when these photos are being taken.
Right.
Which is after the whole typing in
the phone incident.
Okay, and then the theory about why they were taking the pictures that I think is the scariest would be to scare away an animal.
Yeah.
Like a mountain lion or...
Yeah, so we've had mountain lion issues where we live. Bears, mountain lions.
Yeah, we've seen bears,
Yeah.
but we personally haven't had any encounters, thank God, with mountain lions. There was this one time, though, when we were heading down from a backpacking trip from it was just one night, overnight at Barkley Lake. We look at our phones and they're blowing up.
Yep. So we just had a bunch of people thinking that maybe we had been eaten by a mountain lion.
Because when they those things, they don't reveal the details. They just talk about...
It's on the scanner that somebody reported it, right? So one tip...
Don't run from mountain lions.
Don't run from mountain lions, you guys. It's a bad idea. It initiates their predator instincts, and they will chase you. Yeah, and they will eat you.
Don't be an asshole and run away from your friend that's being attacked from a mountain.
Also, if your friend is being attacked by a mountain lion, maybe don't run and leave him there. Anyway,
because this is based on true life events.
That's your pro tip for the day. So, don't run from mountain lions. So, in circulation, they've only released about 40 to 50 of the pictures that were taken. Some of the pictures on there, one of them is kind of strange, but it's a picture of the back of Kris's head. They say... Supposedly. Whoa.
So, we've never actually laid eyes on this picture. I believe that no one actually has.
We couldn't find it anywhere. So the picture that we did find looks like the back of somebody's head with blonde hair, but there's no blood in the picture, and it says in the description that there's blood coming from her temple. So we don't know where this picture is, but allegedly that's one of the pictures.
And like everything we read talked about this photo.
Everything.
Like, everything.
So we're pretty sure the photo does exist. We just haven't actually seen it. Yeah. Another picture was a stick with little pieces of like orange plastic looking bags on it.
Red plastic bags.
Madison thinks they're red. I think they're orange.
We'll post this photo on our Instagram.
Yeah, you guys.
And you have to tell us.
We want to know what you think. Is it orange or is it red?
They're definitely red.
We don't know. Anyway, so they're kind of tied on. They look like maybe they were using it to signal, or maybe like a marker saying we went this way, or there seems to be intention behind it, but we don't really know what
and it's just
that
this
intention
big
is.
Branch just sitting on a rock.
It's kind of a strange thing to take a picture of. Another picture is there's a bunch of toilet paper, it looks like, on the rock. There's like a mirror in the middle of it and maybe some trash laying around.
And this photo is taken, it's like level with all the garbage. So like you can't tell what's going on.
Right. Maybe they wrote something out with the toilet paper, or we're not really sure.
Not sure.
But that's one of them. Another picture, which is like looking down into a ravine of some kind. There's a lot of ravines in this area.
With monkey bridges.
With monkey bridges, which are super fun. I don't know if you know what a monkey bridge is, but it's basically like a rope that you walk across while holding on to another rope.
Dangerous.
I want to try. I want to try it.
I want to walk across one.
It would be fun. But so the picture's looking down into this ravine, and everybody seems to think that there's a body in this picture, which we have blown up this picture. We have looked at this picture.
We have lightened this photo.
Right. To us, it just looks like it could be a rock or
like
a branch,
like a dark blur.
A blur. Obviously, the picture's not focused on anything in particular because it's taken in the dark.
4 a.m.
Yeah, so we're not really sure if there's a body, but there's a lot of rumors out there that it's Kris's body in this ravine.
Yeah, you can be the judge for yourself.
Yeah, maybe take a look at it. We don't really see it, but a lot of people have indicated that that's what they think is in this ravine.
Yeah. So there is one thing suspicious, more suspicious than a bunch of dark photos.
Conspiracy.
So photo 509 was deleted and apparently unrecoverable.
Which is weird because
I don't understand.
We're told that you can basically recover anything off of a camera like that, but this
photo
it's just gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
So, but this photo was the last photo taken between the daytime photos
when the girls are hiking and enjoying themselves
to the creepy, eerie nighttime photos taken days later.
So it's basically the picture in sequence in between those two events. So we're not sure when the picture was taken or when it was deleted. We don't have that information. But at some point between their fun hike and the scary night, they took a picture that they then deleted for some reason.
This evidence connects it to any kind of question towards foul play.
Well, I don't think necessarily. I mean, it could just be that Kris looked real bad in the picture and she's like, Lisanne, you got to delete that. Like,
who knows?
I can't be your friend if you're going to post a picture like that.
It could be that. But that's what most people connect.
Or they think that maybe the girls met somebody on their hike and the picture that was deleted has that person in it. Mm-hmm. But only one picture? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm going with one of the girls didn't like the picture of themselves and deleted it. That's the easiest, simplest example of what could have happened for me. But, the discovery of the backpack did give authorities a new area to search. So remember, the backpack was found 12 hours from where the girls were supposed to be. We
can't really find mileage on this.
Right.
The only thing that we read said 12 hours.
Right. So, that depending on how fast people hike, I mean, but it's
far away.
It's quite a ways, right?
But on the opposite side of the river from where the backpack was found, Kris's jean shorts were found neatly folded on a rock.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I have a lot of issues with this.
I don't like that at all.
First off, why are your shorts off?
Right. So why did you take your shorts off and fold them on a rock?
When you're lost.
I mean, maybe she wanted to take a dip in the river and wanted to wash off. I mean, I don't know. The official report says the shorts were found folded on the rock.
The official police report says this.
Right. There are witnesses that say, the shorts were actually found in the river. The shorts were actually found somewhere else, and somebody placed them on the rock when they found them.
The thing is that there's no actual way of knowing.
Right. We had a lot of people out searching.
Yeah.
And they're not looking for necessarily dead bodies or foul play. They're looking for two missing hikers. So if they find anything, they're going to take it and be like, I found this.
That's the thing with all the evidence here, and instead of what most of the time should happen is that the evidence is left alone, the police come, take all of that, it's documented.
Right.
But in this case, none of the evidence seems to be handled like that.
Right. Well, and at this point, their priority is to find these missing girls, right? Their priority is to get as many people involved and see if they can't find them. So, I mean, that's neither here nor there. The shorts are found, we think, on the rock, folded.
Which is disturbing.
So weird. Also, with this new search area, they were able to find Lisanne's right boot, her hiking boot. She was wearing hiking boots. And her foot was still inside, guys. It was inside her hiking boot.
Which also, why do you have your boots on, but don't
not
have
your
shorts?
Yeah.
Why are her shorts off, but her foot is still in her boot?
Right. I find that very strange.
Why are you in the woods,
like it.
And why are you taking off your pants?
I don't like it. Don't take your pants off.
Also, they took their bras off. They took their pants off, but they didn't take their boots off.
bras are not very
the
comfortable.
bra makes sense. You're right.
Like, after a few days, maybe you're like, I don't want to wear this bra anymore.
I don't wear a bra when I hike anymore.
I don't wear one at all either. But if I did have one on after a couple days, I might take it off and put it in the backpack. Because
that makes sense.
It is.
But the shorts don't make sense.
The shorts don't. But you can see in some of the earlier pictures, the bra that one of the girls is wearing is the bra that's in the backpack.
Yeah.
So it's not like they had extra bras in their backpack.
But why does she have her shorts off?
I don't know.
And her boots on.
Okay, so if I was going to go swimming in the river to clean off because I'd been in the woods for 8 days or whatever, I might take my shorts off but leave my boots on because I don't want to walk in the rocks.
Yeah, but I would have just gone in with all my clothes on.
Well, you would have, yeah.
But
I probably would have, because you would have wanted to wash those clothes anyway.
So that's why I think that me and you would have gone in fully clothed.
But maybe she laid them on the rock to dry them after the fact.
I don't know, man.
But I would have dried my shoes too.
If I'm gonna dry, that's the thing, is that if you're gonna dry your shorts, you'd probably dry your boots.
I know.
And if you weren't gonna dry any of them, like, I feel like you would have gone one way or the other, not
right in the middle. I totally agree. So her pelvic bone was also found, and after further searching the area, more bones were found.
Which remind you, these are not full bones. These are bones.
Well, they're not full skeletons.
Yeah.
So we don't have a skull. We don't have a cause of death. We don't have a ton of information at this point.
Further DNA testing showed that the bones did belong to both girls.
So they are able to positively identify that these are the remains of Kris and Lisanne.
Lisanne's bones appeared to have decomposed naturally when Kris's bones were bleached white. Which remind you, this can be because of the sun. We don't actually know where these bones were found.
Right. So some people go into
more foul play.
Foul play, like, oh, obviously her bones were bleached by somebody. There was some sort of lime involved.
I don't know.
The jungle is pretty intense. And if the bones have been sitting in the sun for the entire time, we don't know where exactly they were found. This has been
months, too. This is months.
So it was impossible to determine cause of death from the remains, which is unfortunate because that leads to a lot of theories. About what happened in this case, you guys. So the autopsy has not been released. So we're talking about the autopsy on what bones were found and on the foot. So whatever they did find, if they found anything from that, those results have not been released. One of the theories out there is that it was simply an accident, right? These two young girls go out into the jungle looking for some good Instagram pictures and get lost. Was there Instagram in 2014?
In 2014.
MySpace?
Sure.
I don't know.
God, MySpace?
I didn't have any social media back then.
I had social media in 2014, Mom.
You did? I didn't. So they went out looking for some good Facebook social media pictures and ended up getting lost. I mean, there is one picture that they have at this waterfall along the trail, which we've read that there is a bigger, better waterfall off trail a little ways from that.
It's hard to find.
But it's hard to find. So if you think about things like that, where maybe they wandered a little deeper into the woods to find something or locate something and got turned around, got lost, or one of them, maybe Kris, got injured and Lisanne was stuck trying to help her or didn't want to leave her. It's really hard to say.
There's nothing that says anything. There's no way of knowing, what she did or...
The other theory rolling around out there is foul play.
Of course.
Everyone
wants a murder.
That's what we do. We want a conspiracy. We want craziness, which is plausible. I mean, we're not saying that didn't happen.
One of the things that plays into this is the dry backpack.
Right, so the backpack is dry. One of the things that the police report, I think the original police report said, was that they believe the hikers were drugged to death in the river. So they ended up in the river. That's how they ended up there.
I have issues with that.
Right, because of the dry backpack, we have some issues with that.
I have a lot of issues with that.
Another popular theory is the tour guide.
I like this one.
He wasn't really super investigated, which the family was really unhappy with.
They were very upset.
He was super involved in the
They
searches.
always are, too.
He was with the group that found belongings and bones.
Like, supposedly, he's the one that found Lisanne. God.
Supposedly. Who out there says supposedly? Or supposedly? We'd like to know.
I think it's supposedly.
We disagree on this topic. I can't stand it. You're not allowed to use that word anymore.
So, I guess he's the one, according to reports, that found Lisanne's shorts.
Right, or was with the group that did find them.
Yes.
Yeah. The family later on did hire a private investigator to kind of look into this tour guide, and he did find allegations that he had been inappropriate with young tourists in the past.
He had a reputation
He had a reputation.
Yeah.
Which, maybe he just liked to flirt with young tourists. We don't really know.
Which both the girls were.
They
were both cute girls, too.
They were cute,
It's
I know.
very high possibility.
But he just thought they were cute. Yeah, who knows?
Like ginger? I like gingers. They always like gingers.
Who likes gingers?
That's why you get hit on all the time. I was making a joke.
Because Lisanne's a ginger?
Yes. Because I swear to God, every time me and my mom are out hiking, people are like, wow, look at that ginger.
Okay, I'm like strawberry blonde, you guys. I'm not quite a ginger, but
I think you're a ginger.
she thinks I'm a ginger.
I'm a blonde.
She's a
You're
blonde,
ginger.
so next to her, I look like a ginger, I guess.
Yeah.
A serial killer being out there is kind of a...
This is my favorite
This is
theory.
Madison's favorite theory.
So, since 2009, there have been 25
that we know of.
That we know of. There's been a lot of other missing people in this area. I don't know the numbers on that, but I know there is. But 25 unsolved murders and disappearances in Panama.
Yep. And when they found the girls' bones, they did find the bones of 3 other indigenous people there. So that's not to say that those people didn't die naturally. We have no idea how long the bones have been there. But there were other bones in the area.
Bones and serial killers.
Which is kind of concerning.
Which, if you guys are a fan of serial killers, which I assume you are.
Or not a fan, but maybe have listened to a lot of serial killers.
It how you...
Please don't be a fan of serial killers. That's really weird.
I mean, they have a dump site usually.
Yeah, they have a general area.
Yeah, which this 25, that's a lot of people. I mean...
Or maybe the police just aren't very good at finding people. I mean...
They didn't get involved for a few days.
That we know of.
This also brings us to the theory of the police, that it was a murder and the police covered it up.
Right. Because there's a lot of possibly mishandled evidence and information.
Yeah, the chain of custody was very bad.
Yeah, fingerprints weren't really taken, and they did find fingerprints all over the backpack. But
all over the backpack.
They never fingerprinted the search parties or people that were out there touching stuff.
The indigenous woman that brought it in.
Yeah, they didn't do that. As far as we could tell anywhere, a lot of reports just said that didn't happen. They also might have less resources in this particular area than a normal police department might have. We don't really know. But in 2017, so 3 years after Lisanne and Kris disappeared, there was a 23-year-old named Johanna, I think it's pronounced, who was an American traveling in the same kind of area in Panama.
Doing the same kind of things.
Yep, she was hiking the Red Frog Beach Trail, and her body was found the following week. She had blunt force trauma to her head and was strangled with her beach wrap. Now, I don't see a connection really on this one. The only thing that's really similar is they were all young tourists that were killed or died in Panama. So her body was found right away, which would indicate that you could get the cause of death, hence the blunt force trauma.
Which we don't know how the girls died.
Right.
So there's no...
But it's 2, there's 1... the body's found right away. The bodies aren't found for
there's not
months.
I don't see a whole lot of connection between these two, but it is something that's brought up quite frequently, that the girls all had a same kind of physical...
Right, like maybe they're connected in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, they all similar looking,
Yeah.
like serial killers have a type, another, you know...
But the original police report was leaked at one point, and it said that the case of Lisanne and Kris was documented as a homicide.
Which was later changed.
Which they later say they think it was an accident, that they were dragged to death in the river.
And they apparently really pushed the accident thing after that.
Right, which if you are in a touristy area, I mean...
Yeah, you don't want people thinking there's a serial
being
killer.
scared to come there. I mean,
Because a lot of their money in that area comes in from tourism. A lot of it.
And this case got a lot of press. I mean, either way, accident or not, it still got a lot of press. So, and I think the families were pretty vocal too about the situation. One interesting thing, the indigenous Nagobi, I think you pronounce it, have a song that they made up or a saying, and it roughly I think it's a song. It roughly translates to someone did evil to them on the trail.
Referencing the girls.
Which is about these two girls, allegedly. But that's kind of concerning if the locals think that something did happen to them. We don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? We have no idea. I'm on the accident side a little more.
Yeah, me as well. There's no evidence. There's no real solid, hard evidence that says foul play. Like, I personally think that it could be a possibility. Like, I do.
The foul play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it could, but just because of the deleted photos, the photos taken with the camera, the suspicious phone, but it all also adds up to it all being an accident as well.
Right. Well, I think that the biggest sell for me on the accident is that the phones and then the cameras used later on, and it looks like it's being used by them, right? This doesn't look like a murderer stole the camera and is taking these random pictures of things that might be signals. I mean, we don't know. But so if foul play did happen to them on the trail, I think that it happened later down the line, and maybe just to Lisanne after Kris was already gone.
But there's no evidence.
There's no evidence.
I think it was an accident.
Oh, one other thing. Lisanne's foot, her ankle bone was fractured.
Oh, yeah.
But if your foot has been removed from your leg, the bone has to be fractured, right?
So people are like, oh, she broke her ankle, which means she fell. And it's like, well, how do you know she actually broke her
ankle?
If
you fall breaking your ankle, your whole foot's not going to fall off. So I don't know. I don't know if that means anything. But that is one of the things that they say about her ankle bone was broken.
There's always the possibility of, like, both the girls got hurt, and that's why they were stuck together. Right. And then there is another theory that we must speak about.
What's that?
Aliens.
Aliens. And Bigfoot while we're at it?
Well, if you're going to talk about aliens, you might as well say that Bigfoot did it too.
Okay, well.
So, there's theories. Of course. With anything, there's theories about the aliens, too. I bet you could probably link everything that's happened to aliens.
In some way, shape, or form,
yeah,
right?
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we gave you our theories. We'd love to hear what you guys think. Follow us on Instagram at Lost in the Woods Podcast. It's really long. Sorry, guys.
Check out our Facebook page, Lost in the Woods Podcast as well. Same thing.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you guys think.
We have a photo up. We'll put the photos that we think are important to this case on there too.
Yep, on Facebook and on Instagram. Feel free to message us. Let us know what you think.
Tell us if we did something terribly wrong, because I'm sure.
But be nice.
I don't even care. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. All right. Well, thanks for listening, you guys. And we look forward to hearing from you guys. And we will see you next week.
Yep.
Or talk to you next week. We're hoping to do an episode a week.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested. So.
Also, if you have cases that you would want us to do.
Oh, yeah. Message us for sure.
DM us on Instagram.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you guys think.
We have a few planned out that we think we want to do.
Yeah, but if there's like one that you just have to hear about or you want
to know about that's so good,
let us know.
We'll do it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.